What kind of EV can you buy for just 10k US dollars? In America, you might afford a golf car. In Germany, perhaps an old scooter. In Netherlands, maybe a decent e-bike. But here in China, you can buy some real cars.
Super good car. I am shocked. I am just in love with it.
They are vehicles that can legally be driven on highways, have full rights of way.
The suspension works very well.
120, no problem. 130, I guess okay. Offer 2 rows of seats with enough room for carrying 5 adults.
If I am driving, there's plenty of space. I can still fit in, right?
You can sit inside.
I can, look.
Even equipped with DC fast charging.
Fully charged.
Yeah, fully charged.
Nice.
Today, Nick and I will showcase you 3 of Chinese best-selling small EVs. 2 models already available in international markets as Europe and Southeast Asia, while the third one is promised to enter the global market soon. In case you don't know Chinese cars well, we also bring the Volkswagen ID3, one of the best-selling small EVs around the world, as a reference of those 3 small Chinese EVs.
I've never driven a mini EV before.
Really?
Never ever. People in Western countries prefer bigger cars. But in China it's different, right? We live in Shanghai. Shanghai is a huge city. So first of all, the parking is limited. And then the price. Think about it. All these cars we chose today, they're all below 10,000 American dollars.
I travel in Europe, in Southeast Asia. A lot of people asking for very price reasonable EV.
Affordable car.
Yeah, we have all of them.
Today we chose, I think, really great 3 cars. When you think of the new car, not second-hand 20 years old Corolla or something, but a new car.
Some may think $10k EV may only have 1 seat.
Like
A lot of
bike.
plastic with limited function. Let's go. Let's go find out.
No,
Let's
guys.
go
It's not the case, definitely.
But so many cars, how can we start?
I think let's talk about categories first.
Okay.
Like, let's start maybe from the exterior design.
Exterior?
Yeah, exterior. Like, how does it look like from outside? Because many people, as you said, they would think it's small and ugly. But no. Which one for you is the most beautiful car among these 3 little babies?
I will choose maybe this one. This one looks just beautiful and right proportion, very nice. Of course, for the other 2 cars, which is Wuling and BYD Seal,
Seagull.
I think good. They're both good. It's more sporty. This one looks more Italian for me. Very classic car.
Yeah. You know, from front, like from this angle, I look at them. First, I thought the same as you. I thought, okay, the Geely one would be maybe my first choice. But after looking at this same car while driving, I was driving behind you, and I changed my mind actually. Yeah. The design is really nice.
Yeah. For me, it's a Chinese Fiat 500.
Yeah, it is like Chinese Fiat 500 indeed. Yeah. I think they took the idea from there, right? From Chinese 500.
I think they will agree. I mean, Wuling people.
Yeah,
Wuling designer will agree with that.
I like how this car looks from the front, but I think Wuling is the most beautiful for me. First of all, because as you said, yeah, it does remind me Fiat 500. And it's like a benchmark of beauty. When I was a kid, when I was growing, you look at those cute European cars and you're like, oh my God, it's so adorable. And I really like the daytime, the running light. When I was driving, it creates some kind of a smiley face image to me. BYD looks the most sportiest one for me. It's like a very aggressive car.
For me, it's like a Honda Fit EV version.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, probably similar. Like this one, it's a very Geely car. Geely always built in the harmony style, in the middle, like not too aggressive, but not boring. At the same time, for me, I feel that it's getting a little bit like lost. It's modern. It's nice, but so are many, many other cars.
What about the other category?
Yeah, let's talk about interior maybe, because it's connected, like design, right?
For interior, I will still vote for Geely, but I need to tell the audience, this car I think go to the market for like 2 years.
Yeah.
This car is also like nearly 2 years old.
1.5.
But this car 1 month old. So it's a new baby. In China, 1 year is your 3 years. Speaking of cars.
I think 1 month is like a year here. Everything changing so fast.
Yeah, it's like a next generation, nearly.
Yeah.
Maybe today's comparison is a little bit unfair for Wuling and BYD.
That's true. Look at this skyscrapers landscape and on the doors as well. And here, I really like this like small patterns here. here.
I think this car's interior is perfect except for this part and this part. Yeah.
Which I like. I like it,
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
I like it. I really like it. And it's changing colors. It's just screaming that, yeah, I am a baby from the city. You can park me between these skyscrapers in any small parking lot.
You see, this is like a metropolis, like New York
Yeah,
or
it's like
London
New York.
or Shanghai.
Yeah.
But think about that. You buy this car, you drive for 1 month, 2 months, and you kept looking at the same picture. Then what do you think of?
When you buy an apartment in Lujiazui and you look at the same picture, what do you think? You think I'm rich? You look at your wife every day, no? You don't feel bored.
I can make no comments on that.
I really love this part. It's like a very smart lever. You don't need to think too much what to choose.
For the most necessary and important functions, they just give you hard buttons. And
What is
it's
smart?
all in a very small area.
Yeah. Nowadays, car manufacturers all follow Tesla. Everything is in software.
Yeah.
But it's not always practical because when you are driving, you have to concentrate on the road. And one more thing which I like about this car, the most about everything, is the steering wheel. It's very, very modern. Like Wuling is the oldest car, so they have a little bit more traditional style of the steering wheel, which was very popular at that time when the car was released. BYD, they have very traditional. In general, BYD likes to overload the steering wheel. What I don't like about steering wheel is that they stole this one from Nyo. Come on, Geely, you're such a big company. You can design something in your own. The center control space.
Yeah.
It's
full of storage.
Yeah.
Here, big. Here, big.
Look at this.
Storage. Yeah. This
Look
is
how big is it. Software. It's not that complex and not that difficult to understand.
It's of course best computer in this segment. Best computer.
Yeah. When you use the
It's
blinker.
nearly like the Tesla.
Yeah, it's really great. And when you use the blinker, for example, it gives you the
So many applications.
Amazing, right?
Full of function.
Yeah.
Anything you can ask more for that car?
No, I think it's this part is really good. And what I really love about this, and when you use the blinker to turn left or right, it gives you this blind spot. Look, this one. This is really good because it's only in very expensive cars, in a very high level cars. You immediately get this angle so you can see what's left, what's right. This is very, very good function. Disadvantage? No panoramic rooftop. If there is a panoramic rooftop like a glass, I would love it even more. But no, they don't have it.
This is the interior design,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for number one. For I think for both of us, we can agree about it.
Okay, let's go to the other two cars.
For me, number two would be BYD. For this part, I don't understand why to put it on the mirror. Everybody puts it here on the B pillar. No, we're gonna put it in the mirror.
Yeah. Last night when I received the car in midnight, they just give me a card, the rental company. It took me 5 minutes to
figure
try
out,
to open the door.
Then you look at here,
Then I look at the card. There is a picture. It's an instruction.
Yeah.
Then I know, it's in the door mirror.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
think this part is a little bit dangerous because sometimes people broken this.
Yeah. What will happen if you just break it, right?
You break it and you can't open your door.
And how expensive it's gonna be to fix it. Normally it's just a piece of plastic, but if you have NFC inside, it also increases your
But
cost.
I need to say, for normal Chinese people who buy this car, they use a cell phone
of
to
course.
unlock the door, so it's okay.
I need to move a little bit because somebody really short was sitting here.
Interior, sporty and young.
What I love about this car is this part, right? That you can turn the orientation of your screen, but the screen is just small. It can be bigger, right?
It can be.
And
If you spend more money.
but you cannot just tell them, oh, guys, I want to add 10,000, make it bigger for me, right? I love these manual buttons, honestly. I do like it. But look, if I want to change the mode, nothing happens. Oh, no, it happens, but here. This is discoordination, right? So it's always like whenever you click here, you can only see the result on the cluster. But if you look at this part when you change it, right? It's connected to each other, but no, you have to look here when you're changing. So this is a kind of a little bit of the, I think, strange thing, right? And look, this one goes halfway. This goes all way. This you need to press. This only goes a little bit. So a little bit like...
This one, you see, you can go this way. It's a big move.
Yeah.
And for this, it's a
It's a
small
tiny,
move.
tiny
small
move,
move,
right?
tiny move, tiny move, tiny move.
No, it's
tiny
also
move,
tiny
tiny
move,
move, tiny move, tiny move with light.
It was a light, yeah.
This is a tiny move without light. Tiny move with light.
With both lights coming
With
up,
both
right?
lights.
And then you can turn as much as you want, right? And then here, nothing, but here you have a button as well.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like you have to learn how to use it. And the space-wise, I feel that this car is smallest one inside. Interior is like kind of overloaded. And look, here, like we have two parts, but it doesn't open. It's just a fake design, like an image that you can unlock and open it, but actually you cannot. So you have no space here. You only have a tiny, tiny space here. The steering wheel looks like my grandpa would like it, not like I would like it, or even younger person would like it. Too many buttons, overcomplicated. And this glossy middle part, it's like you want to beep someone and then it will leave the fingerprint. It's just, there is no piano black except this part.
The design is totally good, but except the steering wheel.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's a solid number 2, second place. So what do you think about this car, interior one?
Looks good. Feels not so good. That's my impression. If you just touch everywhere, you will feel the material. The finish is not so good.
For its defense, right? It's the cheapest car in this segment.
It's the cheapest.
And it's the oldest design, so we cannot really blame it. But I don't understand, why did they choose this steering wheel then? It's completely outside of the concept. Look, it's black and silver. There is no creamy color. There is no brown color. Come on, guys, you can do it, right? Here you have this creamy color, but put this one here, right?
This steering wheel is like from Wuling Hongguang.
Wuling Honglang.
This part is like a Fiat 500. And this part is like more like BYD or the other Chinese modern EV with a lot of decoration. For the seats, it's also Italian, South European feel.
It's just not coordinated. You make it circular and make it circular, right? Don't just switch everything everywhere.
And the one thing I need to say is about this. Every time you change the shift, you need to look at it. Because you don't know where it is.
I agree with you completely. First, I sit in this car, I felt very lost. Let's go. Oh, no, we cannot go. Here. It's here. And again, you turn it first. Normally you would turn and you wouldn't go straight. Oh, no. Then you have neutral. Why do I need neutral? Why? It's EV.
The air conditioning is so strong. Can I turn off?
Yeah, okay. Chinese are always afraid of cold. We like it. We like it.
True.
Yeah, more cool, right?
That's true. Oh, another thing is
Another thing is like very interesting. The same this car and BYD. There is no real like temperature control. You only have like, this is a fan speed. I have 0 to 5.
If Nick want to ask for, let's say, temperature 20 degree, you cannot find the 20 degree.
Here you have how many steps? You have 6
1
steps.
to 6.
1 to 6. So 6 is the hottest and 1 is the coldest. And then, so 1 is probably like 16 and 6 will be 30. You have to be really great in math to calculate like, okay, this is 16, that is 30. So how much is for each step? I was driving it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it 2. And I'm pretty chill here. Okay, I make it 3. Oh, it's so hot. I make it 2. I make it 3. Within 20 minutes, I changed it like 25 times.
If I was a new driver, first time I drive this car and I use this air condition and I want to get a little bit cold, but I don't know a little bit cold is 2 or 1
or 3. And when the heating starts and when the cooling starts, like is 3 heating or cooling?
3, heating or cooling.
It's in the middle, right?
Oh, maybe in the morning it's heating. Maybe in the evening it becomes cooling.
Probably, yeah. So, and BYD has exactly the same system, you know. Geely, or you take Volkswagen, right? They have the temperature, the degrees you can choose.
If we arouse the assistant, can it set a specific temperature?
你好，少林。
有什么尽管说，
我冷。
我有点不明白。
I don't know what is it saying.
He say I cold, but the computer say I ask.
So can you tell us how to do?
你好，小林。
来了，
空调的温度25度。
温度只支持1到6档调节哦。
Nope. What I like here, you know, more than BYD, is that here is
Space.
no space. Yeah.
Come on.
But what I don't like that there is no hand rest here. I cannot really rest my hand. I feel a little bit like I have nowhere to put the arm. You know, this side is okay because I can put it here on the side door.
You want to have such kinds of space. You enjoy that. You sacrifice something else.
Yeah. For maybe 3 years ago, it would be totally perfect or totally fine to make it this way. But because we are nowadays, we are comparing 3 cars.
There's a learning curve.
Yeah. So let's see what Wuling will make with their new model. Right?
I will definitely expect the next generation of bingo.
Next category. It's about driving.
Why he's so angry?
After you drive this car for 10 minutes, you would know why. Tough life.
Now you find a minute of budget.
Yeah, now I feel the budget EV, yeah. Look, the suspension is very hard. It goes over the speed bump and you can feel it immediately. That is like boom, boom. You see? You see? A small bump and you're like already flying around. There's no suspension at all. It feels like you're riding a bike. Like you're sitting on the bicycle. I feel the scooter would do better. The feeling is like it's hitting me, not my car, underneath. But the radius, look at the turning radius. Look, I can turn steering wheel 1, 2, 2.5 times. And then look at this. It's like, I think it's like 50 something degrees the wheel is turning around. Look at it. So this part is brilliant. This car has the smallest turning radius.
Yes.
You can turn around, make a U-turn within a tiny, tiny, tiny space.
Yeah.
So for the city, this car will be definitely a winner because you can go to a smallest parking spot in a smallest shopping mall anywhere.
Driving this car in Bangkok, in Manila would be perfect.
Yeah, in Europe, France, Paris.
Yeah.
Places are so tiny.
Yeah.
All the streets narrow. Japan.
Yes. Yes.
It's gonna be the winner for sure.
Yes. It's a mini car with super mini turning radius.
How do you think about driving dynamic of this car?
I need to say maybe it's the worst of the three. Definitely noise biggest.
Yeah.
Handling not good. But I need to say, I think this car is a purely city car, short distance commute car. You know, a lot of Chinese, especially people living in tier 2, tier 3 or village, I think they may drive only 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers per day.
Maybe even less.
Yeah, that means acceleration, noise, such kinds of things are not important. Just make me A to B.
Yeah.
It's the only one who offer an entry version, really entry version with range only above 200. That two car, their starting range is above 300
kilometers. Yeah.
That means this car's position actually is a bit lower than that two.
Yeah, just because it's mini EVs, so we're comparing them. But actually, from this perspective, I agree with you. I think for me, this one was number 3, and probably number 2 would be, it's hard to say, actually for number 2, because Geely has the fastest acceleration among two of them, and Geely also has the quietest ride. And Geely is the only car with 2 separate suspension, right? The driving, it feels good. The dynamics are good. It's pretty good. For this size of the car is all right. Let's try some rough roads. The suspension works very well. Look, this car. There's no noise. You see, nothing is bumping. I mean, you cannot drink champagne while driving, of course, but it drives pretty okay on this bad road. What I realized in BYD, there is a lot of wheel spinning. Like if you really hammer it, the wheels start to spin, even with the speed of like 35 kilometers. So the torque delivery is not really linear. Ooh. No. No. Elements of design, they do copy this kind of like sporty feeling, but the drive, no. This is the only car which killed the torque once the wheels started to spin. From the perspective of like suspension and the general driving dynamic, I think Geely is a winner. BYD is very close. It's just almost there. Maybe somebody would prefer BYD because it's a little bit more stiff. It's also very quiet. The ride is quiet. Only uncomfortable feeling, I feel that computer is controlling car a bit too much. BYD is maybe it's just a lot about safety, and they care a lot about it, right? So they try to cut the power if you go to, like a little bit more than they expect you to go. Personal feeling, I don't like that, right? I would prefer freedom when I drive a car. But I think BYD was pretty good ride. It's a very solid car.
For me, there's no number 1, number 2. I think it's just like equal for me. For BYD Seal and Geely Xingyuan, both good for driving for this segment. The only difference is the turning
radius.
For Geely Xingyuan, it's the biggest turning radius.
That's true.
So for mini car, it feels not so mini when you make a turn.
Yeah.
But for the other parts, the quietness, the handling, the acceleration are
very
good.
similar.
And for BYD, it's also very 全面。怎么说？全面 I mean 全面你们知道吗？BYD Seal's driving performance is very balanced.
I would agree with you about the turning radius. I felt very annoyed in Geely about this, you know, because it's a small, very compact car. But when you are turning, you feel like you're driving a Saturn, like 5 meters car, you know? Like it feels,
not so much.
I mean, I'm just, maybe I can read it, but I mean, I'm saying like
This car, you know how much is the maximum speed?
100?
110.
Okay.
That means this car cannot reach the speed limit of China highway.
Yeah.
It can go to highway,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it cannot go to 120.
20, yeah.
But for the other two cars, 120, no problem. 130, I guess, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Which car is most practical for you?
For me.
Yeah, for or for the potential buyers.
It's hard to say, honestly. Different people, it will be different choice.
If you are asking most economy daily commute car,
Definitely, Wuling.
for such kind of car, most of the time you drive alone. The inner space is good. Cargo space, let's go.
Cargo space is the
cargo
biggest
space
one, right?
is
It's enormous.
yeah. For this car, the cargo space is unbelievable. It's like magic.
It's huge.
It's like magic. Everybody can sit inside. Not only me, but also me.
We have this picture, yeah.
Everybody can sit inside.
No, this is amazing. For this part, it's a great car. It's definitely top choice. And the price-wise, it's the top choice.
If you are an Italian young man, actually, it's more practical to have a big cargo than a big second row.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you are like a young couple living in China, maybe with a pet or with a very small child, maybe I will choose this car. Because this car, I think it has big first row,
and
it has
second
big
row.
second row, and it has also
Pretty good trunk, right?
Pretty good trunk.
It's automatic. The only one. It's not deep, but it's pretty wide.
It has a front trunk. Look at it. It's a new suitcase, 20 inches.
So it's very practical, yeah. And also, if you buy, for example, like chodofu, or you buy some seafood, you can always store it here and it won't smell inside.
I choose these two, but that doesn't mean this car is not practical. It's very balanced.
Yeah.
The length of Geely Xingyuan actually is not so super mini. It's more nearly a compact hatchback.
Pretty similar size with ID3, right?
Yeah. Pretty close.
Yeah.
One thing I need to say is about the charging speed.
Oh, yeah, charging speed, yeah.
We are reviewing EV.
Yeah.
Charging is so important. This car, latest one, the maximum charging speed is about 60 kilowatts.
61 we got today, we didn't get anything more.
This one, 40.
Yeah, solid 40.
Yeah, this one, maybe nearly 40.
Yeah, we didn't really get
30
high speed.
or 35 or nearly 40.
Again, for these size of cars, they don't have a huge battery. So you don't really need to spend hours sitting in the charge station. We went for a lunch, we came back, all of them were fully charged. Right, fully charged.
Yeah, fully charged.
Nice.
The only difference, I think, is in the highway. If you are driving in the highway, you want to save time. At that time, 30 or 40 or 60 makes a difference.
Yeah, yes, half speed basically, yeah.
But beyond highway, I think it's no worries.
For China, it doesn't really make any difference because Chinese cities are very developed, there are charges everywhere, right?
Nick, if you take one to your home, which will be?
I think it will be Geely. Simply because it's more practical for my situation, right? I'm a family man, I have a child, and I like to drive a lot. I need a car a little bit bigger, probably because of the size and the space. And again, it's a newer car. So I would go with
You like something new?
Yeah.
I heard you, American people, you are still use like an iPhone 12 or iPhone 11.
I use Samsung.
For me, I'm not very young anymore, so maybe I pass by this style.
It's too young, even for me.
Yeah, I think when I graduate from school, for 3 years, choose this one.
Definitely,
maybe. Yeah.
same here, same here.
For this one, I think that looks good. That's my style. But I want a car not only looks like Fiat 500, but also drives like a Fiat 500. And due to this, maybe I choose this. But still, you know, it's not my perfect choice. This car driving is good, but not as good as the German one, Volkswagen ID3.
Of course.
This car for me is like Volkswagen Golf in EV times.
Yeah.
Actually, the driving quality feels like Audi, or even better than Audi A3.
That's true.
That's true. So when you drive this car along the countryside road, along the highway, that's something to enjoy. The reason why today we are reviewing these three cars, three Chinese very price reasonable cars, but we also bring ID3. The reason is that I think for global audience, most people, if you want to choose a small EV, today maybe you look at Volkswagen ID3. Maybe in your country, in your home, maybe you don't have such kind of good choice. And I can tell you how it is in China, because this car produced in Shanghai, manufactured in Shanghai. So Volkswagen was the king in Chinese market before.
Yeah.
But nowadays things are totally changed, especially for EV. Most people, when they choose the EV, they go to local makers. You can see why.
Yeah.
We don't need to explain
Of
anymore.
Course, of course.
I almost love everything about ID3 except the stupid computer.
Yeah, that's
Even
the
the stupid
part.
computer for the latest model year, it changed a lot. It become
They're
okay.
upgrading
It become
as well.
okay.
Yeah, they're upgrading.
It even has autonomous parking.
Parking, yeah, but because we have more choices
But the
here,
people
right?
have more
So-
choice. I know a very famous Italian dealer group, their management asked me a lot of times for Wuling Bingo. They want to
of
make a
course.
cooperation with Wuling Bingo, but
course.
due to some reason, Wuling could not go to Europe.
I've heard that now Geely is talking with the European Commission to cut the tariffs a little bit for Geely brands or sub-brands, you know.
Today there is a news, you know, it says the European government may cancel the tariff
Yeah,
add-on for Chinese cars, but in return, the Chinese cars need to promise for the price limit.
I hope there will be some possible solution because these cars, they will be perfect for European countries.
These cars are already so good. In 3 or 4 years, when their next generation comes, the real big thing comes.
Yeah,
The real
that's
big
true,
thing
that's
comes.
true.
For the last several years, if you have new generation of Civic from Honda,
Yeah.
Corolla from Toyota, Golf from Volkswagen, you know it's good cars. You don't need to test. You know it's good
you
cars.
just know it.
I think these kinds of credits will be earned by Chinese car makers, and I just look forward for it.
Yeah, it just takes time, but
It
we will
takes
see
time.
it definitely, we will see
Yeah.
it. I can tell you, I am very proud for Chinese car manufacturers for what they achieved in such a short period of time. You cannot compare Volkswagen with Wuling because of the history of Volkswagen, right? But what these three car manufacturers achieved with this period of time, it's just mind-blowing. It's unbelievable. So yeah, good job. Good job. Guys, look how clean the streets are. There are so many people passing by. Super clean. There is no garbage on the floor. It's incredible. Look at this. It's like a raincoat or something. It's so China. It's so China.
Yeah.
So traditional, right? I haven't.
When I was a child, such kinds of market in my hometown, I have some memories. And I didn't see it for like 30 or 20 years, but
Let's
I see
go
it
take
here.
a walk. Let's go take a walk.
Okay, come on. It's a very traditional Chinese market.
So cool.
You know, this is like 1990s in China, 1990s.
It's like going back, right? I thought nowadays in China people only go like Taobao, you know, Jingdong, all the fancy shopping.
You see, the downtown of Shanghai changes a lot.
Yeah.
Totally different in last 30 years. But
Yeah.
here, it's like nothing changed.
The time stopped, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you eat sugarcane? Tell us about this. Your another childhood memory.
You don't have
Never
this?
tried it in my life.
You have
Never
to have
ever. I have a juice like you can put it in and it's gonna
Okay.
be a juice, but I never tried it to bite it.
买一根，对。
You see convenience of China. You come to the market, a super local store. You don't need to take cash with you. Scan and go.
You feel something?
Yeah, juice is coming out. What to do is this.
Leave in your hand and find a
Yeah, it's a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.